Hi, this is Steven from Just Got Played, and today I'm going to unbox Expeditions from Stonemaier Games. So thank you to Stonemaier Games for sending me this copy that I can unbox and then later review. This is billed as a sequel to Scythe, so it's designed by Jamey Stegmaier and art and world building by Jakub Rozalski. Those are the same people who did Scythe, so you'll see a lot of commonality here, but it is a different game, not an expansion or anything. You can see that it's based on the Tunguska event. I've heard that pronounced multiple ways, so I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's a real world event, happened in 1908 in Russia, Siberia. An airburst meteor wiped out a huge swath of land. I don't know why it's 1920 plus there, but whatever. All right, so this is a pretty big box. So let's take a look here. You can see it's about almost a little more than 15.25 inches long, a little more than 12.5 inches wide, and almost 3.5 inches deep. So in case you were wondering, so 1 to 5 players, 14 and up, 60 to 90 minutes. It's a lot of stuff going on here. There's some deck building. There's multi-use cards, all these tiles that you lay out to make the map. And then, of course, there has to be, the mechs from Scythe. Well, I guess maybe not the same mechs, but you have to have these fancy miniatures because it's a Stonemaier game, right? All right, let's go ahead and get this open and see what we have inside. All right, got the Captain's Journal, Siberian Expedition, so that all seems like flavor text. And then there's the achievement sheet here. You can download more of these if you want. If you run out of space on that, or start to fill it out and then decide you want to trade the game away or whatever. All right, so this is Expeditions. Let's see what side. Here's the Automa. I won't be looking at that today, but I will thumb through this really quick so you can see all the different components. I'll be using that for reference as we go through here. It's a nice quality book. Also, I was expecting it to be sort of larger because of the size of the box, but I do prefer this size of rulebook. Skip the rulebook and watch a rules video, so that's nice. I know that Rodney Smith from Watch It Played did one. I don't know if that's the one that's referenced there. Gameplay overview, the actions. Basically, you've got move and play and gather. We'll see all these when we get to the mech board. All right, so more about the actions, and then when you refresh, which is, pulling all your cards back into your deck, and also resets the thing here, the marker here, into the game. There you go. All right, and then there's a handy reference back here. Actually, you know what? I don't even know how the game ends. 4th glory token goes down in the Basecamp. All right, so we've got a bunch of stuff here. This is the Basecamp. So this goes sort of at the bottom of the board, and it has a description on how you should set this up. So you've got southern tiles, central tiles, and northern tiles, and there are cards that go out here. Here's a lot of places where you place those glory tokens. Here's where your mechs start. And here's some reference material that's for scoring at the end of the game. Maybe all of that is for scoring at the end of the game. All right, it's double-sided. Let's take a look here. We've got some of the tiles, and then these are like currency, which is basically points, money or points. As far as I know, that's all you use it for. These are map tokens that are used in the game. All right. So these are all the tiles, right? So this must say, these must all be southern tiles. So these will all be exposed at the start of the game, turned face up so you know what they are, right? So there's the sawmill. There's an isolated settlement, riverside, airship wreckage. And then the symbol at the bottom tells you, what you do when you go to that space. At least with the southern ones. On the other ones, it also tells you that, but could be more information there. So in fact, here's one. So here's one of the central tiles, crater rim. There's the sweep action, but this is actually covered up with corruption tokens until you clear those. All right, so what else have we got here? We got a secret facility, impact zone, and a mech junkyard. That's pretty cool. That symbol is to draw 2 of those sort of item/meteorite cards and keep 1. All right. So just draw them off the deck. All right, some more central tiles. We've got a mining town. We've got a fishing village. This is what actually allows you to put a glory marker on that Basecamp track. It's not enough to just meet the requirement. You also have to do that action to put it out there. Weird forest. Cool. So there are different colored workers. So we'll talk about those when we get to them, but they allow you to trigger different things. And that is the meld action, I think. All right. And then warehouse. Cool. All right, more central tile here, the research base, and then we've got some northern tiles. We've got an observatory. Nice. These are nice thick tiles, by the way, which of course means same punch board, decent thickness on these tokens. All right, there's an encampment. That's another northern tile, and ancient temple. All right, cool. Teriffic's Lair is special. There's one special corruption token that goes on here. That's a 20. You have to use all 10 of your power and all 10 of your guile to clear that. But you get, that's a special achievement in the game. You can get a glory token just for doing that one. The mountain pass, one that I dropped, ice cave, and stormy sea. These are actually really well cut. They're coming out super easily. So that's kind of nice. All right, this is taped down somehow, I think. Oh, that was just on there really snug. All right, so that's a nice plastic cover for this stuff. Nothing else under there. All right, let's see what all this is. All right, I'll get back to this in a second. These are the mech boards. So every player gets one of these. So they've all got a name here. Odin's Wrath, Highlander, Marsh Strider, Tatanka, Lumberjack. So you can assign one of these randomly, I think. So your power and guile you track with tokens along here. You meld cards here. You keep your hand cards on this side. You keep your played cards on this side. And these are quests that you complete. You tuck them up there. So that's pretty cool. And then I talked about the token here where you have to choose, you can refresh and then your token can go here. And then you can do all 3 of these things. But after that, you have to put your token on one of these and then you do the other 2. So you can't always do the same thing 2 turns in a row. All right. And so, and then they've got these variable player powers. So back to these. These are little stickers. I think they just stick. But essentially, you stick those on the back here in the 4 corners. And that lifts this up a little, which makes it easier to tuck things under. Because you'll tuck some things. I forgot what these are that you tuck under here, but you tuck quests under there. Your meld cards go there. A little bit of assembly to do there, but that's quite handy. It's nice that they thought of that after playing a lot, I'm sure. All right, let's just jump right into these mechs here if I can get them out of the box. All right. So here's one of the mechs. That's pretty cool, I'd have to say. All right. And let's have a look at the next one here. All right. It's like a Viking ship that walks on land. That's pretty cool. All right, so far so good with the sculpts. They make metal versions of these. In fact, there's a version of this game called Iron something that comes, I think, with the metal ones. I don't know what else. Maybe it also has metal coins or something. But this is just the regular retail version of the game, which you would get if you were to just buy it at retail or from the Stonemaier site, the regular version. All right, that's pretty cool. Do enjoy these minis. I think they're really well done. I mean, they are sort of large and ridiculous, but that's okay. There's something to be said for table presence. Completely unnecessary, of course. But maybe you have a different opinion on that. All right, let's see what we got in here. got all kinds of a bag of stuff, a bag full of bags of stuff. All right. So here we have the different workers. Let's see. These different workers all mean different things. So the yellows were merchants because on the different cards, when you go to activate their abilities, you have to have the right kind of worker to activate them, right? So the yellow are the merchant workers. All right, so we got those. These are glory tokens. What are these? These are like possessed or something. It does actually say in the rule book. What does it say? Purple are possessed. All right, let me see if I can get that open. All right, so these are the purple possessed workers. All right. That's interesting. All right. We got here. We got greener engineers, maybe? No, greener explorers, sorry. All right. I doubt I will store them all in these different bags, but maybe. All right. Those are the discs. I'll go ahead and open these discs. So, every player gets to choose a player color. So, 5 players, you've got 5 different colors. So you just choose your color and you choose your mech and just pop it on there. And so now the red player is this mech. All right, it's pretty easy. 5 of those. These are, this is a bag for storing corruption tokens. Because you do draw randomly out of this bag when you're putting corruption tokens down. Every tile says up to a certain number that you should have on there. So you keep drawing until you meet or exceed that number. And the color of the corruption token tells you whether you need to use power or guile to clear it. So these require power. So those are nice. The printing on these are actually really nice. And then they're lightweight, but they're nice, thick, chunky discs. So pretty well done there. These must be the corruption tokens that require guile. They'll be pretty much the same. Yeah, just in a different color. And there's a symbol on there. I guess I should point out. I assume that's for people who have different sort of color blindness. All right. Let's see what's in here. We've got, these are your power and guile trackers. And there's that special 20 token that you set aside specifically for that one lab comes up. But yeah, and then I mentioned on these player boards, you track how much guile and power you have. And so that's what these tokens are for. Every player gets 2 of those. All right, what have we got here? It's like more workers. Yep, there's workers and other stuff in here. Wow, these bags are annoying. Okay, so the blue are the engineers. So there you go. There's the engineer, and then you have these tracking cubes, and you use those to, that's for your actions. All right, so again, you have the board, and you have this here. You say, okay, well, this turn, I'm going to move that there so I can do the move and gather action. And the next turn, maybe I'll go there. I can do move and play. And then next turn I can do there and play and gather. And now maybe I want to refresh. So I do that. And then after refreshing, you can go here and you do all 3 actions. There you go. So that's how that mechanism works for choosing your actions on your turn. These look like the red workers, which are soldiers. All right, got a rifle slung over their shoulder. All right, and these are glory tokens. And again, when you put out your 4th glory token, that triggers the end of the game. Then you have to score all the many ways to score. All right, so everybody has 4 of these. They all look the same, just different colors. All right, and then we have a bunch of cards. All right, let's see if I can get these open first. These are the items and meteorites. So these, I think, maybe you meld these. Let's see. All right. All right, so there's a card. So that's an item, and you can see the back. Looks like that. So this card, if it's in your hand and then you put it in the play area, you can does it gain a worker? I thought that meant you put a blue worker and then it triggers that. But yeah, I guess I don't quite know all the gain a worker, gain something. All right, so a bunch of different items. That one allows you to upgrade. Everything has a number on it, so that's nice. You can use that when referencing. All right, let's find some. All right, so the color of the card is according to the worker space there. So these are triggered. Something, a card might reference those, what color the card is, and that's determined by the color of the worker down here. All right, let's see. These are all items. So I'm going through the items real quick here. And then I assume at the back of this deck will be, all right, meteorites. All right, so here are meteorites. There you go. So when you activate these, I guess you get that, but then, if you have melded one card, you would get that. These can be melded like this under your board. So gain $1 per placed worker. When you meld this, and then every time you meld another card, you also would trigger this one as well, because it had already been melded. So, and you can have up to 4 of those done. All right, so those are cool. Meteorites. All right. There are also quests and other things. I'm just going through all the meteorites real quick. And again, this, same back. These all seem to be activated by possessed. All right, here's some quests. All right, so there's a quest. All right, got that same back. All right, and you tuck these down like that in the top of your board, I think, when you've completed them. You can have up to 4 quests completed. All right. And then we have this whole pile. So there are a bunch of other cards. There are maybe some more quest cards and starting cards I'm looking for. Those are going to be interesting, I think. Yeah, here's some reference cards. All right, so let's keep going through these purple backed ones. So these are just going to be a bunch of quests, I think. So a bunch of quests. Just going to run through these real quick. You can pause these if you are interested in taking a look at the art. Just pause the video. All right. There we go with those. And then let's take a look at what all these different cards are. All right, so here are the characters. So what do these look like on the back? I'm going to guess those are the what are referenced as starting cards in the manual. All right, so there's one character, and the one up here means there's a specific animal that goes with that character, a companion. All right, so Akiko and Jiro go together. All right. We've got Matthew, and Matthew goes together with Caesar. That's cool. Kids are going to love that. All right, Anna and Wojtek, famous Polish bear. Vesna and Woltan. All right, cool. Gunter, and Nacht. And Olga and Chenga. So those are the 6 that are here. Here you've got these reference cards. So everybody gets one of these and one of these, which explain the move, play, gather, and refresh, and the end condition, and solve, upgrade, meld, boast, vanquish. Those are all things that you would find on cards. All right, so everybody gets one of those. And then these are, I don't know, maybe these are for the Automa, I'm going to guess, because I don't offhand know what those are. That looks like maybe that's what that's for. And then these as well, probably. are for the Automa. I mean, these definitely are. They reference it, and they've got that symbol on the back. So, okay, I guess those are all for the solo play. So, all right, that is Expeditions, a sequel to Scythe. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask me in the YouTube comments below or come to our Discord. If you look in the description of this video, there's a link to our Discord channel. You can ask me about stuff there or anything about games, or just follow what we're doing. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, any of those things you want to do, those do help us out. But until the next time, thanks for joining me.